You don't belong here.
Stop that! You're interrupting my train of thought.
I got those strings for you.
Ah, how the hills shall ring out in gladness to their glorious sound.
We'll fix the loot and head off for Kuttenberg, fame and fortune. All praise to you, friend.
Right. I hope that's all you need.
If only, Henry, old pal. It's just there's still one little fuck-up. Friend, we have a problem. The innkeeper doesn't want us to leave. Says Kuttenberg isn't the place for us.
Can you imagine? He who never set foot outside his village wants to block 2 free souls in their path to fame.
And fortune.
And recognition.
And under the skirts of town maidens.
Beast. In short, dear friend, you must have a word with him. You're worldly wise. He's sure to listen more to you than to us.
Hang on. How can the innkeeper keep you from going anywhere?
Well, you know, he's incapable of grasping that the artistic soul needs to fly as free as a bird.
Aye, he's an
Ignoramus.
Besides, we owe him a bit of coin.
Well, why don't you pay him back then?
That's just it. We'd love to. We could always scrape together a few groschen.
But it's not coin he's after. He wants us to work off our debt.
He lets you two drink on credit? How so?
Because he's a damn crook.
He knows we can't pay back our debt outright, but he counts every wretched sip we take and adds it to the burden we have to shoulder.
Well, why don't you just up and run for it?
And sully our honor? Never.
And also, the innkeeper would tell the bailiff and he'd come looking for us. We don't want to end up in the stocks.
Why do I have to be the one to solve it for you?
Because we don't have time. We have to concentrate on composing our songs, creating art. Art!
Believe me, friend, once we get to Kuttenberg and make a shitload of coin, we'll pay you back double.
Tell you what, tenfold.
I'll have a word with him, and we'll see what happens.
That's the spirit.
Let's drink to that! God be with you, neighbour.
Greetings.
I hear Michael and George have run up a small debt with you.
A small debt? They owe me a whole heap of work, my friend. A month ago, I told them to dig a hole for shit behind the barn, and I'm still waiting. There's a privy there, but now it's full. The shit has nowhere to go but downhill. It's flowing down to the bathhouse. The other day, they promised that if I poured them a drink, they'd haul sacks of chaff to the barn. They boozed for free all night and swathed down sausages till they were as greasy as a cart axle. But that chaff is still out in the damp and rain.
Can't they just pay what they owe you?
This has nothing to do with the coin. Those two need to learn some responsibility. Damn their idle hands. Nothing can cure their laziness but labour.
So, haul some sacks and empty the latrine. And then the debt is paid?
Aye, but I'll bet my boots that even if those two miraculously got off their asses, they'd still manage to rack up another debt in no time.
What is it Michael and George have to do to pay off their debt?
Haul sacks of chaff to the wagon and empty the overflowing latrines. Once that's done, we'll be quits.
Couldn't someone else do the work instead of Michael and George? They'd just do a shoddy job anyway. You know them.
Well, they'd have to do it again then. I'm telling you. Until the chaff's undercover and the latrine's clean enough to eat out of, them two owe me.
Forget about those two fools. You're not responsible for their upbringing. A decent pile of coin could smooth everything over, couldn't it? I'll give you the coin for some hired hand to do the job.
Well, that pile of groschen will have to be mighty big. Cleaning out the privy's going to be a nasty job.
What would you say to this?
More. Well, now, everyone should be satisfied. Good trade makes good friends, eh?
I've squared things with the innkeeper. Your debt's been settled.
Our savior! We knew you'd support our artistic souls and save our mortal bodies.
May your name live in glory.
Your glory shall be sealed by the song we wrote for you.
Oh my god, what have you done?
Fuck yeah! For you and about you, our hero!
Definitely not going to sing those words, right?
Which words?
You know exactly what
I'm
words.
just joking. Right, you ready?
Can't tune the strings.
You've got one job. Good? Right. When it seems you're out of luck, there's just one man who gives a fuck. A friend who'll never leave you stuck. Now who can that friend be? Well,
Ludiak?
Henry, our hero Henry, the fellow who helps his fellow man. Henry, reliable Henry, he gets the job done the best he can. Oh, oh, oh. Watch out, here we go. Oh, oh, I can't hear you in the back. When you want to string your lute and drum it with your bag drum, who will pull a sheep gut out through the creature's rectum? Oh, Henry, we thank you, Henry, the fellow who helps his fellow man. His fellow man! Henry, let's drink to Henry, he gets the job done the best he can. Yeah!
So, how did you like it?
Weren't we fantastic? I tell you, that loot really gave it a punch.
I'd say we were incomparable. Chi la dura la vince. You can't keep a good man down. The world awaits us.
Awaits us with open arms.
It was quite interesting.
Interesting?
I mean, I never heard anything like it in my life.
Ah, you want to say new? New and original?
Yeah, that's it. Definitely original. Maybe a bit too much.
Ha! I knew you'd like it.
Dear Enrico, thank you for everything. It's time for us to shake the dust of this God-forsaken place off our feet and seek our fortune in the big wide world.
Kuttenberg, here we come!
New life! Here we come!
Now, hold your horses, fellas. What about my reward for everything I've done for you?
We've already paid you back, my friend.
Didn't you hear the ode we wrote about you?
Look, that's all very nice. But what about some coin?
Please, Henry, don't be so base. No gold in the world can match the luster of our velvet voices.
Just wait till that song about you makes the rounds. You'll be so famous you'll have to fend off the women with a pitchfork.
Besides, you've gained the most valuable thing in all the world. Friends.
Farewell, friend. And thanks for everything.
Christ, you again. I'd like to play dice. Care for a roll or two?
What game would you like to play?
Soldiers, of course.
Let's play.
I'll be keeping my eye on you.
I need to plow too, you know. What if you lent me the bullet?
Come on then, show us what you can do. Unless you're playing for the first time.
Except I don't have a bullock, and you won't lend me yours on any other day.
Go and see the priest first. If he says it's all right, I'll be happy to help you, friend.
Let it be now. I want to play too, you know?
U-bow the other day for a great price.
What good's a bow to you, for God's sake? What a waste of money.
Didn't you hear that? The king.
If I was you, I'd take it.
Good bow on hand.
Which king would that be?
I don't know exactly, but when the king commands, his subjects have to obey, don't they?
You didn't hear it from the trader who sold you the bow.
Have you lost your mind? You're going to lose everything.
To think of it, it was him who told me.
You don't belong here.
How's life treating you?
Not too bad. I've got so much to do. I have to split myself in two to get it all done on time.
Why don't you take on a young apprentice to help you out?
Sure, but where could I find a decent apprentice?
People are always asking me if you're looking for help, but they're never good enough for you.
I don't want
Like
some
this.
in my house. I need someone who's capable
Greetings.
and has a good head on his shoulders, and most importantly, doesn't drink.
You're no saint yourself.
That's enough. Your turn.
Together. That way, you'll keep an eye on the lad, and you'll even have someone to carry you home.
Don't think I don't know
I
who
went
you
to
are.
see my brother
And,
talk about the inheritance.
but your father's still alive, isn't he?
Aye, but he drools all over himself.
You must have a lucky horseshoe up your ass. Next time I'll be more careful around you.
Everything's the church if I don't go and see.
Aye. Once old folks start getting soft in the head, it's bad news.
Exactly. Let me tell you, I'd rather die poor but young than to go through that.
You're whistling for the cows, you know.
Die!
Could this be the pier from Zdeněk's story? He said Matthias carried Kuba's body up the hill from here, up to an old oak tree. Well, there really is an old oak tree here. But what was the rest of the story? Something about smashing the axe on a rock. This could be the rock from the story. I'm on the right path. A grave under the tree, overlooking the valley. This must be where Kuba, Matthias's brother, is buried. Together with the silver axe. God in heaven. This really is the axe. All those years in the earth haven't treated it well. I hope I can fix it.
Stop! Come here!
How are you? And what do you need?
To have a little chat with you. Come here. Stop! And strip. Everything off. And no funny stuff.
I'm not just gonna stand here and let you rob me.
You're not? Tough shit.
I'll kill you. I've been waiting for you.
For glory and carnage! Die!
Mercy! Spare me!
Thanks to God. And the Blessed Virgin.
Stop that whistling.
So I says to him, "No, father, I haven't been fornicating. I've just been loving my neighbour."
Hey! You alright there, laddie?
Oh, you should have seen him. He went as red as a cardinal's hat. Aye. Hey, servant, bring some wine.
Me? I'm not a servant.
Oh, I know. Old Samine is saving supplies for the wedding later. But you didn't need to bother your wee head about that.
Look, I'm not from here.
Oh. I didn't give a fuck what you pray. You speak our language, do you not?
Well, Yurko, seems to me this fella doesn't know how to behave toward his betters.
The old man's hired hands are lacking in manners. We'll soon fix that. I'll get you.
You fight like an old hag!
What are you doing?
I'll be...
Stop beating! I've got my eye on you!
Come on. Oh, you wee
What
bastard!
in the devil's name is fucking going on here?
What do you think's going on, Grandad? I'm teaching your people here how we do things.
Grandad?
Why, Grandad? An old captain like you probably still remember the foot.
True enough, Yurko. I am old. And I remember all sorts of things. Like you. When you were a little nipper running around here bare arse, with a ribbon in your hair, screaming out how you was Princess Sophie. Poor lad, hadn't a moment's peace from his big sisters.
What about that wine?
Who in God's name are you?
Henry. The Takeoff blacksmith sent me. Radovan.
Blacksmith, eh? Then you'll have some explaining to do. Come along and never mind that fool Yurko. Young Samin's getting married, so we has to put up with his kin from Moravia.
We'll be needing a dozen geese. And I must tell Vashek to get 3 pigs ready for slaughter. And the carters will have to be sent to Yetchin to get at least a peck of poppy seed for cakes. And gingerbread spices. Oh, and wine, too. It's almost all gone, what we bought only last week.
Enter!
Sorry to intrude, sir. This is Henry, blacksmith Radovan's hand.
Oh, excellent. Dorothy, leave us now. Just make sure that there's plenty of everything so long as it doesn't cost too much.
But, sir...
Not another word! Leave us! So Radovan sent you alone. Who's going to unload it all? It's a whole cartload.
Yeah, Radovan sent me, sir, but not with the goods. The thing is, he's missing his cart, along with the carter in his hands.
What? But they never came here. Are you telling me they got lost?
Well, I couldn't tell you what happened to them, sir, but it's my job to find them.
There are all sorts of vermin roaming the countryside.
Oh, no
so...
need to imagine the worst right off, gnarly. Anyway, I need the load from that cart, so saddle up your old nag and we'll ride out, Captain. I could do with a breath of fresh air. I've had it up to the eyeballs with counting geese and pies.
What about Henry here, sir?
Well, what about him?
We could use an extra pair of hands. You know how my shoulder's acting up. Yurko is shit-faced, and your son...
The older has work to do. All right, take Henry with you if you want. Just so long as he doesn't slow us down.
Thank you, sir. So, lad, you going with us? I hope you're happy about it.
Yeah. I'll be glad to help you.
Oh, you reckon we can't manage on our own?
No. That's not how I meant it.
Take it easy, son. I'm only yanking your pizzle. So, do you know what to do? Or have you got any more questions?
Actually, there is something I'd like to ask about. This Yurko and his mates, who are they?
They're Lord Samin's kin. They're fine as long as they don't get too much booze inside them.
Only they're from Moravia, so they're never far from the booze.
But what could I tell you, lad? Each to himself. Besides, they stick with the family when push comes to shove. And you can't say that about everyone.
And you, sir? What is it you do?
Well, son, I wonder if I haven't made a mistake about you. If you haven't figured me out by now, you can't be very bright.
No, I just meant, what exactly is it you do for Lord Semin? And your name isn't exactly very common.
I'm the captain here, and I'm sure I don't have to tell you what a captain does. As for my name, it's a nickname Lord Samin's grandpa gave me. May he rest in peace. When I joined his service as a young fella, I took my gnarly club with me. Wouldn't use anything else. I was used to it. And more than once helped me to, well, win an argument. I broke many a hard skull with it. And it's still in one piece. We've been together so long, we even share the same name.
You're lucky you didn't turn out to be Captain Knob.
Or Captain Headcracker. You're right.
I'd like to go and see that wedding.
Wouldn't we all, lad? And what would you do there?
I'd eat and drink my fill and check out the local maidens.
I hope Lord Samin didn't hear you. He'd be none too pleased to hear you want to take part in such a grand affair, just to stuff your face and roll an A with some drunken wench.
I beg your pardon, Captain, but that's what most fellas go to weddings for.
That's an unspoken truth, son. Unspoken, mind. Anyways, you're Radovan's hand, ain't ya? He'll be coming to the wedding. He's making a wedding gift for the groom. Stick with him, and maybe he'll take you with him.
We should probably get going.
My thoughts exactly. Off to the courtyard, then.
God be with you. Keep the peace, and we'll stay friends.
Greetings, Master Guard.
Gave you a pasting, Yurko? Ah, bollocks! You just got lucky, the wee bastard! If old Gnarly hadn't shown up, I'd have given him such a pasting, he'd be eating Nalbo porridge for the rest of his days.
What was that Gnarly was saying about your Sophie?
Our granddad's as old as the hills. He doesn't care what he's bleating about. You reckon? Seems pretty sound to me. I'm telling you. He's mixing me up with someone else.
I don't know, pal. He sounded pretty convincing.
Hey, cut the shite, fellas, and send for some more wine. I'm dying of fucking thirst here.
Your wish is my command, my lady.
You're a bunch of cunts, and no mistake. Don't get ideas. I wasn't at my best, but I'm not gonna scrap with you again.
You're related to the Semins, if I understood right.
Aye, I wouldn't ever be here otherwise. My great-grandmother married young Lord Samin's great-uncle. It's not every day that your, first cousin, once removed, gets married.
Twice removed. But that doesn't matter.
Ah, who cares? There'll be a good old shindig, that's all that counts.
You've got quite an unusual accent. Where are you from?
Can't you tell? From Znojmo in Moravia. Lovely country. All vineyards and bonny lasses.
Well, you don't like it here?
You see any vineyards and bonny lasses here? The locks are broad, all right. They didn't exactly lift your spirits, but more the other way around.
You're a long way from Moravia. You must hold Lord Semin in high esteem.
My pa holds all his kin in high esteem, so he sends us all over the place. But we didn't have all far to go. We were at a wedding in Rottenburg last week, a wee bit from Yichlamer. Before that, it was a bairn's christening at Kloschenberg, and another wedding in Darchin. Then a friendly visit to our kin, the Shellbergs in Kuhlberg. That's all I mind. I haven't been home for 6 months, and I didn't care.
Why don't you want another fight?
Why would I want a stramash? I'm near a man of violence. Tradition has been honoured already.
Is it your custom to beat up envoys who come to the courtyard?
Envoy or no, when a new bloke turns up and gives us a queer look, he gets a clout in the gob. That's fair, isn't it?
Well, no. It's not a custom where I'm from.
See? I learnt you something about Moravian ways.
Young fella, are you going to keep us waiting?
Can I ask you something, Captain?
Sure. Ask away, son.
What about Lord Semin? What's he like?
What are you asking me, son? We don't know each other well enough for me to criticise my master.
Oh, I'm not asking you to criticise him.
And would you believe me if I told you he's kind and just? That he knows how to make some coin, but he ain't no miser. He knows how to give orders, but he'll listen to advice too.
Sounds almost too good to be true.
See? You wouldn't believe me.
How about von Burgov? What's he like?
Well, actually, I don't know that much about Sir Otto. He spends a lot of time in Prague and travelling all over the kingdom. He ain't in Trotsky that often. Once a year, before Christmas, he invites his yeomen there, including Lord Semin. That's decent.
That's all you know?
That's it.
I'll get going then. I'm ready to set out, sir.
All right. Stay close to us and don't go wandering off.
As you say, sir.
If they drove out of Tarkov and headed towards us, they had to pass through Troskowitz.
Right, sir. You keep up with us, son. Troskowitz ain't far, but it seems there's fellas vanishing on the way.
Very good, Captain.
What do you think about it, Captain?
I know you told me not to jump to any conclusions, sir, but I can't help myself. Someone's running rampant around here, sir.
I know who's running rampant. Yurko in the cellar. We're out of wine again. I knew this wedding wouldn't be cheap, but I'm bleeding like a stuck pig. And the bailiff, the bride's father, you'd get more blood out of a stone than coin out of him. And then he behaves like I shit golden eggs just because I'm a noble. Even though he's got more coin than me.
Such are the times, sir. But that Yurko, he's going too far.
You know how those Moravians are. It's in his blood.
Aye, I noticed. But they're getting too much to handle. Him and his cronies. They started on young Henry, soon as he set foot on the courtyard.
What? Is that true, Henry?
It was nothing. Just a bit of a friendly brawl. They clearly had a skinful. I can understand it.
Well, I've sure as hell got no understanding for it. I hope they didn't hurt you.
Young Henry here gave Yurko a nice hammering.
Oh, that's no surprise. The fella can hardly stand upright most of the time.
You'd have to get up early to catch them sober. But they wasn't that drunk as to give Henry an easy fight.
Look here, lad. If you're such a champion, I'm sure you'd accept the challenge of an old man like myself.
It would be an honor, sir.
Excellent. Not afraid, eh? That's what I like to see. There's an abandoned pen along the path a bit. We'll stop off there and see what you're made of.
All right, sir. If you'll excuse me, I'll explain some things to the youngster here first. Wouldn't want no accidents happening.
So, we're here. Gnarly, tell the youngster here what's what.
All right, son. You're going to fight Lord Samine. It'll be an honorable fight, so you better act accordingly. Hold on, Mo. I'll give you some gear for it.
What weapon will you give me?
What would you like?
A mace.
Well, that might not be too far off. You can have my cudgel. It might be just a stick, but it's my stick, so careful with it.
Thank you, Captain.
Save the thanks, and get your arse into the pen.
So, young'un, are you ready?
All right, let's do it.
Corvar, I'm wounded. Take that.
For the cross! Get over here, you warrior.
Sucker. I need a
Get
bandage,
over here,
quick.
you warrior.
There. That's better.
What do you say, son?
I didn't even work up a sweat.
Climb off your high horse, sonny. You might have won, but you ought to show a bit of respect.
Oh, leave him be, Gnarly. He's young. He'll figure it out on his own in time.
Anyways, you can keep that old junk, Henry. Even my cudgel. But take care of the old fella. He might be just a piece of wood, but he's saved my arse more than once.
I will, Captain.
And since you won, I've got something else for you as well. My shield.
Isn't that a bit too much, Gnarly?
Sir, my left shoulder's fucked anyway. I can't carry no shield.
True enough.
Thank you.
It's good to stretch the limbs every now and again. And you're pretty
What a
handy,
cheap
youngster.
old man.
You should come to the courtyard, and Gnarly here will give you a good education in the art of the sword.
I call it the art of not getting skewered as soon as you step foot outside the village. But do come, Henry. We've got a nice arena in Sameen. It ain't no abandoned pig pen.
You can't always choose your battleground, Gnarly. Whether it's a pig pen or an arena in Karlstein, it's the performance that counts. And while we're on the subject, where are you from, lad? It's clear you're not from Trotsky.
I'm from Silver Scallops, sir.
Aha! Now I understand why you're here. You're not the first one to flee here from the war.
I don't flee from a fight, sir. I have work here, and a lot of scores to settle.
You want to get revenge for what happened back home? That usually doesn't end well. You'd be better advised to find yourself a well-built girl, build a cottage, and visit the church and the tavern in turn. There's no helping a dead anyway.
That's nice advice, sir. Only women will tie you down, lad. Better to go and see a bit of the world. You're doing the right thing.
What a nag.
Are you blind or just your horse? Watch out!
So, we're in Troskovitz. What now, sir? Should I go to the bailiff and ask if he might have seen someone?
Well, that makes sense. But the young fella here should do it. If the bailiff sees you, he'll guess I'm in the village and come and bother me. And I'm really not in the mood today for any bombardment of complaints.
I understand, sir. All right, Henry. Run along to the rat house and inquire about that wagon.
And Henry, not a word about me. Are we clear?
About who? Since you're not here, how could I speak of you?
That's what I like to hear. Now run along.
Good to see you.
Cheers. I hope you have an uneventful shift. Master Bailiff, can I ask you about something?
Ask away, by all means. Wait now, aren't you that lad who's helping Radovan in the forge?
Yeah, that's me.
I heard his hired hands went missing.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here.
Ah, I was thinking they were driving awful fast with that cart.
You saw them?
I did, a few days back. They raced through the village in the early evening so fast, they were dropping sacks of charcoal.
Where were they headed?
Towards the east, to Apollonia on the road to Yichin. And you're looking for them?
I am indeed.
I'm glad to hear it. I heard there were goods for Semine on that cart, and I can do without that kind of trouble now, on account of the wedding, you know?
It seems you have a lot of concerns with that wedding, Master Bailiff.
Of course I do. I'm the father of the bride, after all. Although not everyone sees eye to eye with me. Lord Semine would be happier if I paid all the bills and left all the decisions up to him. Who's invited, what there'll be to eat and drink, entertainment, everything. It's not like I have a burning desire to deal with it, but if I'm going to pay for it...
I understand. But isn't it just that the groom's family is more concerned about these things?
That's not it. I'll tell you what it is. It's because Lord Semine is a noble and I'm just a commoner. Only I've got coin. While he's trying to keep the wolf from the door in that piddling estate of his.
You're right, Master Bailiff. Don't worry, though. People will find out you spared no expense for your daughter's wedding.
Let's hope. More like that old miser will go around saying the opposite and put me to shame.
I don't think Lord Semine would do that. Do you know anything about Radovan's hired hands?
Only what I've told you. But to tell you the truth, I wouldn't mind if they never turned up again.
Why's that?
Well, they might look like butter wouldn't melt in their mouths, and Radovan praises them, but I know people. That pair have mischief in their eyes. I can tell.
That'll be all. Thanks.
What will it be?
How are things, Master Scribe?
What would you like to hear? I don't spread gossip. I only write it down.
Are you from here?
No, I'm not. I come from nearby Yichin.
So what are you doing here?
The plague and a spell of bad luck are behind it. The plague took most of my relatives to their maker, and I didn't want to return home after my studies. Bailiff Thrush offered me a good position here, so why shouldn't I accept it?
Well, Troskovitz isn't exactly a small village. People are probably doing well here, eh?
And why shouldn't they be? The war has avoided our region so far. I think we can especially thank our lord, Sir Otto von Burgau, for that.
And what's your lord like?
Von Burgau? My goodness, he knows how to keep order, just like his chamberlain Ulrich. Though, sometimes it's not so easy with him.
Who's this Chamberlain Ulrich?
Ulrich von Schaumburg manages the estate of Sir Otto von Bergau. You see, as the royal chamberlain, Sir Otto spends most of his time in Prague. So Ulrich is actually something like the unofficial local ruler.
Show me your wares. Word about the price.
Huh. Very well.
Only because it's you.
That sounds really interesting. Lower your price a little more, and I'll be satisfied. Aye, you'll convince me with that price. I was glad to be of help to you, good sir.
No need to sharpen this.